This morning, we're talking all things Princeton Vikings with AD Joe Roberts. Coach, how are we doing this morning?
We're doing great, Rob. It's great to be back, start the fall of the year, and it's exciting to talk to you.
Seems like, boy, that week up to the very first kickoff of week one, it's just a fire drill every year. It never changes. Everyone's running around, and wow, I'm just glad that everything went well. And I thought we'd get into it and talk about all your sports teams and let the fans of the Vikings know where things are right now. How's that sound?
Absolutely. Let's start talking Viking athletics.
Sounds great. Let's start with boys and girls cross country. Looks like I know they had the preseason at OHSA up at Obitz a couple weeks ago, but really kicked things off at VOA on Saturday at the Lakota East Classic. Tell the fans how boys and girls cross country did, Joe.
Sure. I'll go back real quick. So we go to the OHSA preseason cross country meet, which is at Obetz Park, Fortress Obetz Park up in Columbus, the site of the state cross country meet. And why do we do that? Because it's the site of the state cross country meet, and the kids get an opportunity to run against all the top runners in the state. They get a little feel of what it's going to be like in the state finals, state championship meet in November. And so it's a great opportunity for them to get a little early season run in. And then we came back and we participate in the Lakota East Invite this past weekend up at Voice of America Park, which is the site of not only the GMC cross country championships, but the Southwest District cross country championships that we participate in. So it's a great opportunity Coach Cobb and Coach Campbell do to get our student athletes on courses so they can get familiar with them. Because while I may not look like a runner, I do know that course familiarity is very important. Knowing where some of the bumps are or some of the undulations go in a course. And yes, it does change a little bit over a season, but at least you get some familiarity to it. And, junior Jordan Cook for us, she finished 44th.
Okay.
But she led our girls' way. She ran a 24-28 for us. And, when you look at that, we've got some gaps that we've got to get into. When you look at the young lady from Lakota West who ran an 18-24, but we're getting started and we're getting things moving along the way. And, if you can get from a top 40 to a top 30,
yes,
by the time you're in that mid part, you're really gaining some serious ground for them. And then on the boys' side, Declan, he carried the way for us. He ran 16:38. He finished first. And so as a senior, he's gaining some huge ground, Declan McGrath, and we're really excited about what he's doing and really like to see what the kids are bringing together. And the coaches have really started to build that team, almost a bottom-up perspective, if you will, because we continue to grow in numbers. And so we'll head to home of the Brave Park this weekend and run in the Loveland Invite. And it'll be another opportunity. We'll see different students, we'll see different teams, because at VOA, you're going to see a lot of the GMC schools. Obviously at Obetz, you're going to see everybody. But when you get into these other sites, like a home of the Brave Park, you're going to start to see a Loveland, a Turpin, a Little Miami, who, by the way, Little Miami is a heck of a cross-country team of people that follow cross-country. So it's going to be a great race, and it's going to be a great pace. And I'll tell you, Loveland does a great job. They play that music, and it's rocking. It's not as much as the Jambulans if you come to the Princeton Invite and the Jambulans is going, but it's going to be a great Saturday for running.
Yeah, that sounds great. The thing that really stuck out, what you said, is your numbers are up. And that's so nice with cross-country teams. I'm hearing that across all of our schools that we do the show with, that cross-country's numbers are way up. So it's great the kids are participating, getting out, get some exercise. And, it's not one lap around the track. It's a good run. So,
well, Rob, you and I talk about this. It's a cult now. I mean, you got to be somewhat crazy to get out there and run that, 13 miles or whatever it is. But you know what? The kids, they do. And it's great to watch them. And, I've talked about this on the shows in the past, but I think it's so cool to watch Coach Cobb and Coach Campbell follow our students on their bicycles. I think it's just a great thing to see. So looking forward to Viking cross country the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's exciting. Good luck to them this weekend over at Home of the Brave. Let's switch over to the gridiron. We couldn't have asked for a better night for week one football. 5,000 fans in the stands at Jake Sweeney Stadium. What a beautiful night to kick off a very exciting season for the Vikings. The score didn't end like anyone wanted it to from the Princeton perspective, but it was a great night for week one, and there's big things ahead for Viking football. It's going to be a nice season.
The only difference outside of the outcome of the score is if we could have played that game on Thursday night with the weather we had Thursday night.
Yeah.
Because you talk about absolutely just a beautiful week. All last week was just gorgeous.
Yes.
Friday night was just a beautiful atmosphere on this campus. To see that we had class reunions, we had alumni back, the Moeller faithful, they came out and came strong. The game was televised live on Spectrum Sports. Um, all the students and the student athletes competed. Uh, it was great
Yes.
to see. And it's a great way to kick off high school football.
I couldn't agree more, Joe.
And it is just, it's wonderful to have opportunities when you can to have an environment like that for our student athletes. They've earned an opportunity to play in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
All the hard work that they put in. This game that we just had this past Friday will not define our season. It's just the beginning. A lot of people this whole summer and the off season kept talking to us. I'd run into them at a gas station or something. They'd talk about Princeton football and, are we going to do it again? It was really hard to do what we did last year. And we're not going to do that again this year. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to do something very special. And I think that Coach Parker and his staff do just an amazing job of building fundamentals into our kids and instilling to them the importance. And oh, by the way, Southwest Ohio Division I football is really, really hard. It's really difficult.
No doubt.
And the GMC conference is really difficult. 4 of the 10 teams walked away Friday night with wins in the league, and 6 didn't. So guess what? We're about to hit the grind this coming Friday when we head to Sycamore and the gauntlet that the conference is, and it's going to be a battle all the way through. I did jokingly, or not necessarily jokingly, I did say to Jonathan, "We'll see you guys again at the end." Because I can see both of us matching up in a regional semi or a regional final. And that's just even going to make more theater and more excitement for what's about to happen. But yeah, great way to start the season. Did not like the outcome of the score, but that's just because I'm a fan. But you know what? We got great things in front of us, and Viking football is ready to go.
And you know what, Joe? The one thing I love that the OHSA did a few years ago is that everybody gets in the playoffs, which makes it easier to schedule a game like that on week one.
Yeah.
And it's great for the fans and the alumni, because I grew up with that. I grew up with that rivalry, and it's second to none. And it was just so nice that it was back. And it's so that new change with the OHSA allowed week one to happen. And I'm so glad that it did.
Yeah, well, and you're 1,000% correct, because hindsight's 2020. It's hard for Princeton to find a week one opponent anyway. As last year we traveled up to Elyria to get a game, and that while that was a great experience as well, it's not always conducive for our student athletes from an academic perspective of long distance travel,
right?
And for our coaches, that's a lot of strain on them too. Not that they don't like doing it or they don't want to do it, but when you can match up with someone in your own town that both schools want to play each other. But you're right. And we can talk about the olden days. And by the way, how awesome was it to have Coach Mancuso and Jerry Faust Jr. Coach Mancuso had not met Jerry Faust Jr.
Really?
He was so excited to be able to do that. I mean, just to see him come out on the field and do what he was able to do and be our honorary captain that night was very, very special. Now, he balked on me. I tried to get him to call the first play of the game. He wouldn't do that, but that's okay. But it was just, it's wonderful to be able to do, because I know the old rivalry where that week 10 game meant something because that was the qualifying team to get in.
Right.
Well, now it's that week one game is extremely important, because it's really truly going to set the tone for high school football and gain some momentum throughout the season. It makes the regular season, that much more exciting. Yes, you got to do something really difficult not to qualify into the playoffs.
Right.
However, it gives you a chance to kind of see where you are, because anymore, while I really love the 2 scrimmages that we have, and it's very valuable, you're not going full go no matter what, right? You're not, because you just, injury is too simple. I mean, you're not playing a full, a full 4 quarters of football with your starting 22. You're just not doing that. You're giving every kid a chance to see what they're about and see what they're made of, and that is very important. That week one game needs to start setting the tone for what's in front of you.
And you guys set the bar Friday night. It was a very
Yeah,
special evening. So kudos to everybody who made that happen. Let's and best of luck the rest of the year and against at Sycamore on Friday for the
yeah.
Vikings. Let's go to the links, hit boys and girls golf, give the fans kind of a little update since golf season's about half over. Give everybody kind of an update on boys and girls golf, Coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna start with the girls, and we have a team of 3 right now.
Okay.
And hats off to Coach Herb and what he's trying to do with our 2 freshmen and our junior out there that are playing. We are working really hard to kind of give those girls opportunities and experiences.
Wonderful.
Girls golf, we've gone in the wave, and now we're on the low wave of it, if you will, because it's just not where we need to be, and so we've got to try to move some things forward. But
Right.
I really do like what we're trying to do in terms of giving them opportunities to play a lot of duels, giving them opportunities to play where things may be. Brooklyn Kofer, our junior, she probably will be an individual qualifier in the tournament.
Great.
But Anna and Greenlee are really truly first times out there and really trying to get it going. But the girls are playing, and we're excited about what they're trying to do. And I'm going to flip it now to the boys. Coach Tilton, he's our new boys golf coach. He is really starting to get the kids to understand what it means to be competitive.
Okay.
We are a single senior laden team, but we've got a strong junior class right now. We've got some good freshmen coming through. Our numbers in boys golf are really in the 8th grade. That's where we'll see some things when it starts to come through in terms of numbers and competitiveness. Coach Tilton did some things a little bit different than Coach Suker and Yazel did for us. He started match play in some of our duels,
Interesting.
so that every kid had a chance. So now not only are you playing for a score, but you're trying to beat that man. And created a really good opportunity for them. We had a match last week against Middletown, and the Middletown coach even commented about it. Had we not had a match play style environment, some of his golfers would not even get on the course. Now this gives them a chance to get out and play a little bit. So we're looking forward to that. We got 2 good matches this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. One out at the Mill, and the other we head over to Reeves this week. And then the boys are practicing, and Coach Tilton sent a message out on Sunday to all the kids. They got to hit 250 chips during practice. They got to putt 200 putts. They got to, chipping and putting is what's going to help you.
Sure.
That old drive for show, putt for dough logo is really where it's at. And so he's really fine tuning and honing in on the short game. So getting ready and gearing up for the GMC is really important for us. And then obviously leading into that 18-hole sectional championship as well to get some kids out. Because again, golf's an individual sport inside a team game, and these kids are starting to do well for it. So we're looking forward to seeing what they can produce.
Best of luck to them, and keep plugging away and work on that short game.
Yep.
Let's switch over to the pitch, boys and girls soccer. Let's talk boys soccer first. Looks like they travel tonight. Yes, travel tonight to West Claremont, and then travel 2 road matches this week, and then travel to Sycamore on Thursday for the boys. On the girls' side, let's see what we have here. We've got hosting Sycamore Aviators on Thursday, and so that looks like 1 match for the girls this week, Coach.
Yeah. Our boys soccer team this year, especially in the beginning, they are the road warriors. I mean, we have been traveling, and it's just the way the schedule fell out. It's not any other format, rhyme or reason. It's just how it fell out for us. And so we're going to head over to West Claremont tonight and get that match in, and then we're going to be at Sycamore back playing in the league. And then we're going to take a weekend break, for the Labor Day weekend. That was intentional for both boys and girls. We wanted to kind of give a little break in there. And so it made some back-to-back Monday night, Tuesday night situations for us. But the boys, they came out strong against Western Brown. Then they hit a roadblock against Turpin. West Claremont, I think that's going to be a great match for them. West Claremont's really starting to grow in soccer, and then we'll get into the meat of it with our league schedule. I'm not sure how Sycamore is going to be right away, but I think at the end they're going to really be formidable for us. So it's going to be really good to see us. Where we kind of stand, and then of course we added some non-leagues in there, kind of mixed them in with Loveland, Wyoming, and Milford. That's going to be good for us, particularly on the Loveland and Milford side, because those could be sectional matchups as we move down into the tournament. So looking forward to that. And then on the girls' side, it really is coming down to what Coach Newmeyer is doing with the girls right now. There's a lot of confidence there. She's a brand new coach for us. She's really fiery, and they had some great scrimmages in the summer and some open fields. And then all of a sudden they've hit a gauntlet. I mean, they're down. They've lost 3 in a row. But Western Brown is a really solid, competitive girls soccer team. West Claremont and Turpin are both. I mean, they are really, really good, Rob. And then we'll see what it's like back here at home with Sycamore Thursday night, getting us back on there before we, again, take a much-needed break, and then we'll come back and play New Richmond next Tuesday.
Sounds good. Good luck to both boys and girls.
ESP Media is excited to be celebrating our 15th year of operations. We specialize in podcasts, streaming broadcasts, and website design and operations. If interested in one of our services, please contact us at 513-655-4966. That's 513-655-4966. Or email us at sales@espmediasn.com. That's sales@espmediasn.com.
Here, let's go over the hardcore, talk girls tennis. Looks like they have, let's see, they're traveling to Coleraine on Tuesday and then hosting on the very nice courts at Princeton High School, Middletown. So it looks like 2 matches this week at Coleraine and hosting Middletown on Thursday.
Yeah, Coach Bruning, I get a big kick out of the kids because they're battling. I mean, they've grabbed a 1 win this year against Harrison, but again, they've played Madeira, Talawanda, Wyoming, Sycamore. So like we're not running from the tennis is pretty strong in those schools right there, and so we got to find the small victories out of what we're doing. He does an unbelievable job of balancing our student athletes and getting them back in. And then we'll come back, like you just said. We've got a good week this week with Coleraine and Middletown, 2 solid GMC opponents for us to play, but also 2 great opportunities for us to get all the kids on the court and play. And then we'll take a little time, and then we'll come back and hit next week with solid GMC, Fairfield, Oak Hills, Lakota East. So it just keeps on going for us, as we build up to what we're trying to do. And I really do see us in a really good situation. Coach will put us in. We've got some strong leadership there. We'll finish in that upper middle part in the league because the league is so deep in girls tennis. And then we'll be able to maybe make some noise a little bit in the sectional. We'll see where it plays out.
Great. Good luck to the girls. Let's go inside, talk girls volleyball. Let's see, what do we have here? We've got hosting Williamsburg on Tuesday on campus, and then traveling to Cornell Road to face Sycamore on Thursday. So 2 matches this week for girls volleyball.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm actually excited about it because I'm going to head to Thursday night. I'm going to go to Sycamore because I'll be able to catch boys soccer and volleyball at the exact same time. So that's really neat. And I think we actually may have a JV water polo match going on over there that day as well. So
have you seen their new pool yet, Joe? Have you seen
Not yet. I've only seen it from the outside, so I'll probably have to go in and take a look at it. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. Coach Weller and the team. They've had a good road at it. They took Yellow Springs to 5 the other night, and that was really, really good for them to get down, turn around and battle back, and just they came up short at the end. But we're really working on position. We're working on making sure fundamentally that when you go up for a block, your hands are in the right space.
Sure.
We've got really good rotation. We've got a really good young program that's going to really do some things and make some waves. So looking forward for us to, Tuesday night should be a really good match against Williamsburg. And then let's get into the heart and soul of what's about to happen in the league. And with a couple non-leagues left in there as well. And then we'll just get ourselves ready. It's hard to imagine that we're sitting here talking about sectionals already, but we're about to send out the voting pens for girls golf. and I mean, it's here, it's upon us. So we're going to be building some stuff and seeing how far it goes.
Yeah, best of luck to them this week. We have to wrap up quickly with water polo. We'll start next week with water polo and give them a little more time. But boys and girls water polo, they're about halfway through their season. It looks like this week the Vikings traveled to St. Xavier on Tuesday, and looks like that's it because the Golden Bear Invitational was canceled. And I can tell you, we'll be broadcasting. I'll share that link. Tuesday's match. I'll put on VikeNation.org, so any fans that can't make it over to North Penn Road can tune in and watch the match live. So we'll have that posted on your website. Let's talk water polo real quick.
Yeah, that'll be great, Rob. Thanks for doing that. The girls will play the Mavericks that night, and the boys will take on St. X. I'm going to sum it up this way: Coach Russ and Coach Purdue, but it's Danny and Rachel Rust. It's the Rust sisters who are Vikings through and through, and they're back leading our programs. We're young. We made a decision to add middle school kids. Most water polo teams in the state are starting to do that. And so we've introduced middle school students to the sport. They're quote unquote on the JV squads. They're really, truly, fundamentally developing themselves. And it is truly going to be the way that we're going to be able to keep water polo. Because after last year's senior classes, both on the boys and the girls, we have seen a huge drop-off in participation.
Really?
And it's because the vast majority of the younger students haven't been exposed to the sport. Like that group of seniors last year, they played water polo at their pool in the summertime. Sure. They had been introduced to it at a little bit younger age. And so now it's about building it back up. And both coaches have seen all of our area schools facing the same thing. It just, athletics there's ups and downs, there's momentums in it across the board. So really hats off to them for what we're doing and bringing that back and starting it back for us. There's a lot, going over there and getting a match in with the Mavs and X this week. And then, like I said, I know our JV boys are at Sycamore. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. But being able to add JV matches, standalone JV matches, give those kids opportunities to get in the water. So our schedule is a little bit different than it's been in the past in terms of not hitting all these overnight extended stay weekend invites, in Napoleon and Upper Arlington and places like that. It's about building this program back and bringing it back into the fold and teaching these kids the game. And so really excited about what we're doing. Obviously, having the facility that we have allows us to be able to really build and develop the water polo program. So it's going to be an exciting, strong season as we move along.
Great. Good luck to them in the water. It's a great sport. It's fun to watch, and best of luck to boys and girls water polo. Joe, as always, thanks for your time. It's an exciting time getting things underway and busy for everybody, but thanks for your time today. Good luck to all the Vikings this week, and I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk soon.
Rob, really appreciate it. You take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for tuning into this week's podcast for all of the up-to-date information on your teams. See you online next week for all of the latest on your AD podcast.